Hi, Carolina.
Morning.
Who is Fireflies.ai? That's a new.
I think it might be Mr. Bagnall.
That's a new team member.
Rich, are you there?
Morning, everyone.
Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo. Of course, a lovely house you've got there.
Yeah, I love your apartment, Leo.
Well, everyone else was using the other one, so I decided to be a bit more individual.
Otherwise, we would think that you're at the same place, all of you.
Exactly. There we go.
Okay. Oh, I'm admitting Richard. So,
okay, different Richard.
The real life Richard is now with us.
No, that's just a note taker, right? We've seen that before. Dexy also has that as well, always the note taker.
Hey guys.
Hi, Richard.
Morning.
You all right?
Morning.
Good morning. What's happened? Has my AI bot appeared?
Yeah. We thought this virtual Richard suddenly appeared.
No, it's Fireflies. It's very good. It's a note taker for meetings. It summarizes them and that sort of stuff. It just attends all my meetings. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, it's obviously chosen you as a special meeting to attend, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to see everyone.
Yeah.
Leo, you look like you're on a nice holiday.
Yeah, nice to see you, Richard. Yes. It's very relaxing here for now.
You just need a pina colada and
yeah.
Perfect. Good.
Yeah,
We're looking forward to this meeting.
Well, it is. I guess it is 1 o'clock in Dubai right now, so maybe. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, team.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi, Sergio.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever.
Hi, everybody.
In my case, good evening.
Oh.
Morning.
Should we admit Mazen? Why not?
Good
morning.
Morning, Mazen.
Hi, Mazen.
Morning.
Good to see you. Hi, Yana. Good to see you.
Hello.
Holly, I think that is who are we waiting on? Maybe Tim.
Yeah, Tim's right here with me.
Ah. Oh, okay.
It's just logging on.
Not joined yet. I've got Hugo, Melina, Elaine's on holiday, and Dimitri. Melina's on holiday. Okay, so Hugo, so the IT team.
Dimitri said he didn't want to. He wasn't going to join.
Sort them out.
Oh, okay.
I'm shocked that IT is always late to the meetings. I'm completely shocked.
Well,
Good
they're
morning,
very
everyone.
busy.
Sorry, I'm late.
Good. Hi, Tim. Pleased to meet you.
And you.
Nice to
Very
meet
looking
you,
forward to
Tim.
working with you all. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. I think you might have to maybe do a sort of a mute because there's a bit of echo. There you go. So Sergio, shall we wait for the IT boys or?
I just dropped them a message. They are online, so they should be joining. 30 seconds.
Okay.
Hugo, I'm not sure. It's green, but it should be off, I believe. But it's green, so should potentially is going to join. Let's start. They will join shortly.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Well, I think with that, I'll probably hand over to Mazen. Mazen, I've sent the team the sort of high level agenda, so everyone's aware of the points that we're going to be discussing today. And so yeah, I'll hand over to you to kick things off.
Thank you, Christian, and welcome everyone to the call today. We're going to be going over where we are in the integration process between CARMA and MMI. And I've divided the call into 3 focus areas to be able to give you a thorough update and to answer a number of your questions, which we have received, and to make a number of introductions, which I'm sure will be very exciting and help create additional focus and support for the business as we move forward. The first point I'd like to raise with everybody is that point around focus. And it can be easy to lose focus when you have 2 companies coming together, and there might be many different questions about what do we do technically, what do we do operationally, what's the strategy on content, sales, marketing. I have full appreciation for the fact that many people have many questions. But the best way to begin in addressing things is with certainty. And the most important certainty that we can provide all of you is having a focused leadership team. And what I'd like to announce today is we have a new incoming managing director who has been given the responsibility of consolidating all of CARMA's business across Europe and America. He is joining me here today. His name is Timothy Webb, and I'll ask him in a moment to introduce himself. Tim will be taking over all of the CARMA operation across Europe and America. He has a full remit to manage the business in totality, the P&L, the financials, HR, client service, business development. All of the directors of every function will be reporting into Tim. He will be taking over from Richard, who has been with us for the past 5.5 years and has done an outstanding job in building a very strong foundation with a great team at our Wandsworth office. And as we progress, we're going to be deepening the management team who are going to be reporting into Tim. So if you want to ask who's the boss in charge of the European and American business, that is a focused question, and I'm giving you a focused answer. And I do believe we have a focused leader who may want to do a quick introduction. You can use my audio, feel free.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mazen, for the kind words. I'm delighted, really, and excited to be joining the CARMA family. I have been aware of CARMA for a number of years through a colleague of ours now, and I think most of all, I really believe in what we do. It's exciting to be part of something where I think success is already omnipresent in the business, but future success will be there and will be there. And I think what we do is so relevant, so important. As you'll get to know me, I've worked on a slightly different sense of media and information, but I think our purpose and remit is so valuable and so interesting, and something, as I say, that really has inspired and excited me. Really looking forward to working with MMI and how we integrate into CARMA to create, a bigger, better, more exciting solution and company and become more relevant. So looking forward to meeting you all, really looking forward to working with the direct reports, but also bringing energy and working with yourselves to make this business absolutely fantastic. You would have seen a note from Mazen this morning. I believe we can be number 1 in our space, and I think we should take that opportunity and make sure we deliver upon it. So thank you for joining on the journey. Thank you very much for all the daft questions I will have in the short term. They will run out pretty quickly, and I'm sure your patience with my stupid questions will run out quickly, but I'm here to learn in the short term and here to deliver in the long term. So I really look forward to meeting you all in person and to making this a great success. So thank you, Mazen.
Thank you, Tim. Moving on with the leadership team, obviously we have different functions at MMI across commercial, client service and operations, technology and finance. And as part of our focus, I think it's important, and we owe it to you, for everyone to know where they stand in terms of governance and who reports into whom as we progress. So I'd like to begin by clarifying that the technology team, who have been doing an absolutely incredible job, especially the two warriors, Hugo, Dimitro, with support from Kishan, have been working incredibly with Sergio and the CARMA Global IT team. They've been staying up many nights, if you guys don't know about it, and they have been pulling off miracles in partnership with the global IT team. And you'll hear about it more in a short while. But the technology integration is going incredibly smoothly and is beyond our expectations, thanks to their very hard work. But simple equation, isn't it? Technology team reports into the global CTO, and that's exactly what we're formalizing and confirming. The entire technology team is now part of the CARMA global IT team and reports into Sergio. Similarly, the finance team report into our global CFO, Ish. They've been working with him on MMI financials, making sure that the company is in good financial health, and that we're looking at how we can integrate our combined accounting and reporting structures moving forward. Sergio, I see your hand up.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Mazen, you know me, I like to destroy any plan, right? So I needed, and I think it's fair and it's a recognition. And I want to say my personal thank you to Dimitri and Hugo for all the hard work, and Kishan also, but for all the hard work has been happening recently. And I'm pretty sure that all the MMI team and now CARMA are pretty proud of the work you have been doing. So my personal thank you for you both.
Well done, guys. Thank you. So we've
Sorry,
talked about
Mazen.
your wonderful team, Sergio. We've talked about Ish and the finance team reporting into him. Now, the commercial team, represented by the very capable leadership of Leo, in partnership with Julian, has been doing really good work in building up our revenue base. We have an incredible opportunity ahead of us, and we want to be able to monetize CARMA's 20+ offices worldwide, the 700 people who we have around the world, more than 50 business development professionals across the company, to be able to work with Leo and Julian to develop our revenues, get more exciting clients, and be able to grow the business. For that to be simplified, we're going to make sure that Leo and Julian and the front office at MMI have the ability to integrate seamlessly into the CARMA global network. Similarly, from a client service point of view, we don't want Sheena to be working entirely on her own and to be doing everything without any support. Sheena, I want you to know that we're all here to support you. You have a fantastic global team who will be providing you with all of the help that you need. And to make sure that all of the support you need, all of the knowledge that you need, all of the learning that's important, that integration exercise is smooth and comfortable and enjoyable. I've made the decision to appoint Sam Greenside, who has been running the global CARMA FMCG sector for the past few months, as the head of the global luxury segment. What that means is we see MMI as the leading force within CARMA to build up the luxury practice within the company. And for that to happen, we've asked Sam to lead both the commercial and the client service structure moving forward. That means that his team will include Leo, Julian, and Sheena. I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody else from the client service function. Forgive me if I am. Once I'm in the UK and I get to meet you all, I'll be able to remember names. And I'll give you this little tidbit about myself. They tell you that with every child, you lose 20% of your memory. I have 6 children, so you can imagine that I'm not very good with names, but I am very good with faces and I'm very good with integrity, and I can see it all the time. Under Sam's leadership, we'll be in a position where there will be no unknown. If there's someone who's working on luxury in Singapore, he already knows who these people are. If there's an opportunity for luxury in the US, he will know about that. So I think together, you guys, Sam, Leo, Julian, Sheena, are going to make an absolutely fantastic team. And the upside growth as we progress is absolutely brilliant, and I'm tremendously excited about that. Sam is a shining star in CARMA. He's a fantastic guy, great sense of humor. Some people think he's pretty good looking, but I leave that up to you. But I'll invite him to say a few words on behalf of his leadership of the commercial and client service function.
Thank you, Mazen. It's the kindest words you've ever said to me. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm obviously delighted. I'm also very conscious that I've had some really good meetings and some time with both Leo, Julian, and just catching up with Sheena yesterday. So fantastic opportunity here. I think the global approach is something that's going to really take us to that next step. And I talk about regional alignment around a global vision, and across luxury FMCG, which is in my stable, we can absolutely get there as well. So fantastic opportunity ahead. I had a good conversation with Tim this morning, so making sure that we're aligned moving forward also. So yeah, it's going to be good. Looking forward to next week at XCOM when we can move this forward, and great opportunity. I'm sure we're going to seize it. So looking forward to it.
Thank you, Sam. And finally, as you know, at MMI, the client service and operational structure is quite blended. And at CARMA, we have a slightly different model where client service and ops are partners, but they're not one department. So that will take a bit of time for us to rationalize and align, but we're not going to rush anything. We're not going to break anything along the way. And Paul will be here along with our global operations directors, Kali, our global head of insights, and Ali, our global head of monitoring, to be able to make sure that there's a seamless transition into a place where all operational functions are really plugged into our backbone, our technology, our content, and will give the MMI team a lot more scalability and many more tools moving forward. You'll also meet fantastic colleagues around the world. We're a bit of a crazy bunch, but we're a fun bunch and we're a good bunch of people, and you'll enjoy working with everyone across our operations worldwide. So some things don't have to happen overnight. We'll take our time and we'll make sure they're done in a considered manner to make sure the company is growing, stable, and focused as we progress. So in summary, the leadership team begins with me on a group chief executive level globally. Tim, who reports into me, will be leading our European and American business. And Sam will be leading the commercial and client service functions. And over time, operations will be integrated into our global ops backbone. I think that's a pretty clear and straightforward way of articulating it. But let me stop there for a moment. Should anyone have a question or a comment or something that you would like to share? Right. I know that when you have a call and there's 30 faces on a screen, it's difficult to speak what's on your mind, but you'll have plenty of one-on-one in-person time moving forward with the new leadership team. So congratulations to the new leadership team. I wish all of you the best of luck. Now, talking about leadership, we have a fantastic leader in the room, and I'd like to say a few words about him. MMI, in so many ways, is Christian's vision. And many of the great ideas and innovations and inspirations like e-tail, the influencer platform are really his baby, and he's come up with them. And because we already have a leadership team in CARMA, we want to make sure that Christian's talent and leadership continues to thrive within MMI, but frankly, we want him on the CARMA side as well. So we've been talking about a new and exciting role, which we haven't yet finalized, but really entails taking the e-tail product and building it up as a new revenue line within CARMA, and eventually productizing it and building its own commercial structure across our global network. I see a lot of promise in e-tail. I think it can be as powerful and as lucrative a product line as monitoring or analysis, but this sort of gives it a nice twist. And I think being able to productize it on a global level would be a wonderful opportunity. And I think Christian's innovation and inspiration here will be absolutely wonderful. So it's not yet completely finalized. We're still talking about how to progress it. But rest assured, Christian will be here for you, as he has always been, supporting each and every one of you, supporting Tim, supporting Sam, and the entire MMI team as well. Christian, if you'd like to say a few words in follow-up to that, you'd be more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Mazen. And yes, the role that we're shaping out is a very exciting one, and I look forward to in Istanbul crossing the T's and dotting the I's on that. But just to sort of really take a step back here and think about the words that Mazen said in terms of this being my baby. At some point, you always have to hand the baby over to responsible parents, and what we have here in CARMA is a very responsible set of parents, and I'm very excited to be part of, for our business to be part of the global CARMA family. It will deliver on what our dream always was, which is to deliver global services to our global clients. And for that I'm very excited. And thank you again, Mazen, for making the acquisition and allowing us to take the business to the next stage.
Thank you very much, Christian. I really appreciate your words. And sometimes when you look at an acquisition, you wonder what's good in the company. That's really what you want to be merged into your own company. And all of the elements of a good company are in MMI: good leadership, good talent, a good product, good client base. And there's so much to build on, and I'm very excited about that. So my thanks to you, Christian and Leo, for your leadership of the company over many years. Your leadership continues, maybe in different ways, but hopefully greater success and greater impact for both of you and the entire team. As we progress to my second point, I'd like to focus on a number of comments and questions which were shared by the MMI team. I know there were about 30 questions which were shared, and Paul very kindly documented all of them in a big Excel document. I don't think we have the time to go through each and every single one now, and I think sort of more detailed questions around HR and the like are better handled on the ground, face-to-face, in person with the new leadership team. But I will take a number of the questions and consolidate them into a big theme, which is really about personal and career development at CARMA. And I think that's a really important question. Some of you might remember when we first met in our initial online meeting, how we talked about our values at CARMA. And they included, and these are our official values: courage, dedication, intellectual curiosity, passion. And I think it's really important that these values come to life with the MMI team, and I have no doubt they will come to life with the MMI team. Let me give you a few details about how we empower our team. And I think one of the really special things about CARMA is we're a company that will never get in your way of developing or progressing. You can go as far as you want to go. There's no corporate politics, there's no silliness, and if there is, we're going to crush it. In terms of individual development, I can tell you it all starts with you. If you want to grow, we will help you grow. Make the choice to grow. If you want to succeed in a much bigger way, we will be there for you. One of the reasons why courage is one of our core values is because in life, it's always easy to be afraid. It's special to be courageous. So I encourage everyone, push yourself and your courage to wherever you want to take it, whether it's 1 step forward, 100 steps forward, or 1,000 steps forward. If you have an ambition, say if you were Julian and you wanted to bring in 10 million pounds of revenue and take a 5% commission on that every year, go for it, man. We'll give you all of the time, money, support that you need, and buy that holiday home either in Iceland or the Maldives, whatever suits your fancy. But if you want to be great at what you want to do, and you're in your function within the business, it starts with your choice and you defining your ambition. What I can tell you is we will never limit it. What we will do is give you the training, the career development, the mentorship, the content, the technology, and the money to be able to get to where you want to go. I use Julian as an example, but similarly with Sheena. if you want to be able to have a client base which you are engaged with, clients who absolutely love you. When L'Oreal are sipping champagne in Paris, you want them to be mentioning your name to their colleagues around the world. That's fun. It's exciting, something to be proud of. And the way you do that is becoming the best version of yourself, being a great client service professional, really caring about the client, asking yourself every day, am I making a difference? And if I'm not, it's not the end of the world. What can I do to make a difference every day, whether it's a small difference or a big difference? How can I engage the client with new ideas? Oh gosh, across CARMA, I now have more than 200 analysts who are my colleagues. Maybe they've got ideas which I can benefit from and share. Let me learn about our new technology and make the client's life far more engaging. And most of all, let me just show that I care, because ultimately, in all business, the greatest success comes if you care. It's just that simple. If you care about people and you care about doing the right thing, nothing will get in your way. So that's another example. With the tech boys, my gosh, I mean, I don't need to give you any words of encouragement on career development or on mentorship. What you guys have been doing with Sergio is exemplary, but I think you've now found the real wizard of technology. Imagine Sergio's mind being part of your careers moving forward. And there's a lot of mini Sergios across the company. So empowerment and a culture which has made the choice to lift each and every member of our team, no matter how junior or how senior, is part of the beginning of great career development and personal development. The second thing is bringing people together. And we are very good at that as a company. You'll find that we have CARMA people on a plane all the time, going everywhere for every reason. Who would have thought that, a chap who lives out in Cardiff would have spent a big part of the past 5 years in the mountains of Lebanon and near the pyramids? But Paul did that. The team over here loved him being with them and engaging with them. We have an executive committee meeting every year, which is the senior leadership of the company, and we invite top management. As some of you know, about 45 of us will be gathering at the XCOM Plus meetings in Istanbul. From the MMI team, Christian, Leo, Julian, and Sheena will be joining, and I'm really excited to see you all in person over there. But that's one example of us getting together in person to talk, to innovate, to share ideas, to talk about what we're worried about. And the number of meetings which we do every year are multiple, whether they're 50 people, such as the XCOM Plus meeting, or if they're the global sales meeting, which we do usually in April. We had one last year. We're going to do another one in April. We have client service excellence meetings, operational meetings. We had a wonderful insights all hands meeting last year as well. So you will find there will be absolutely no shortage of opportunity for us to get together with your colleagues, not only in the UK and Europe, but around the world, to meet, innovate, and grow together. We have a mentorship program. We have a vibrant L&D program. We have a fantastic coach who is assigned to us on a retainer basis. His name is Nathan Ferrugia. He has been instrumental in helping many of our leaders find out who they are and where they want to go, as well as helping many members of our mid-level management think about organizational excellence, aspirational thinking, and developing their careers. We have over 50 members of our team who have gone through some kind of certification program, including the Amex certification and other certifications. We have about a dozen members of our team who are assigned mentors on a one-on-one basis. I can go on and on and on, but I hope that gives you a snapshot of how we create an environment where you can think freely and act freely and speak freely, where you know that we want you to succeed, where there's no corporate politics, where there's no nonsense, and where we always get together as a team, whether a small team or a big team, as well as one-on-ones in person to develop. They are supplemented by those structured programs, some of which we ask our team to enroll in, and some of which our team come to the management and say, I think I can really benefit from that program. and we involve them in it. So that's my second point, and I hope it's been as clear as I can possibly make it. I'll stop there for a few moments should you have a question, comment, or even a recommendation in that regard. Again, online calls are a bit shitty, but, feel free to ask at any time as we progress. I see a comment. Let me just see if yes, please, and 100% agree. Wonderful. Me too. I think that's been a clear message. If there's anything I can say before I hand over to Sergio and Paul to talk a bit more about the technical and operational integration, it would be about the idea of change and the concept of certainty. There's no one here who's super young. I think you're all professional adults, and even though you're probably all younger than me, Tim and Richard, and definitely Paul, and definitely Ish, I think you're all professionals who understand that change is what you make of it. Change is not necessarily bad, and change is not necessarily good. Change is just change. It's up to you, it's up to me, and it's up to us to choose to make that change good. And I can tell you that Christian made that choice when we agreed to bring CARMA and MMI together. It's already setting things in a positive direction on multiple levels. On a commercial level, on a client service level, on an operational level, on a technology level, there is no doubt that there will be change across the board. How can we make that change positive? Number one, by being together as a team, by being open and transparent about what we're doing and why we're doing it. Another thing would be to make sure that the change is measured and considered. We might have to take a risk when we're migrating technology. But you know what? There's a reason why courage is at the heart of CARMA's values, because ultimately we will be driven by opportunity, not by risk. It's not because we're dumb and we don't know what risk means or how to evaluate it, but it's because we're smart and we know that the opportunity is always more important than the risk. There might be risk with our clients as we migrate platforms and people. But again, there's no point being afraid. If we lose clients, there is no issue here, provided we just do our best. Clients come and go, but if you do your best, you will win many more than you lose. And that is something I can tell you all of us here have experienced for a very long time. So you know what? If a client is asking for the impossible and they're ridiculous in their demands, and we tell them no, and we lose them, hey, no problem. Now, if we're lazy and we don't try our hardest, that's a problem. And I know that won't be within our culture. But that's just an example of the change where we need to be real about things, make sure we have a good plan, we follow through on what we believe is fair and right for all sides. Certainty. I'm not sure if anyone on this call has ever been certain about anything in their life. It's rare that you have absolute certainty on everything or on anything. But what you can do is develop as much focus as you can have to get the result which you want, even if there are bumps along the way. So one way of creating as much certainty as possible is having a strong leadership team, which is focused, has a clear mandate, and can help the team be organized and grow moving forward. Another way to have certainty is to put a plan. What do we want to do with our product portfolio? I believe very strongly that e-tail has the ability to be a fantastic standalone global product. So the way we create certainty is by saying, let's do that. Let's put money behind it. Let's put time behind it. Let's put imagination and leadership behind it. Similarly with the insights part, if people are getting our scoring, our rating, our monitoring, we can have certainty that an elevated level of insights, new metrics, new methodologies, new ideas can take our clients to a whole new world. And then finally, you can have the certainty that you can navigate change well if you just are a good person and you try your best. There's nothing complicated about it. So like change, certainty is a pretty simple thing. You make of it what you will. And if you give it your best, we will give you our best. And you will have as much positive change and positive certainty as possible. With that, I've pretty much concluded my remarks. I'll take another moment to stop and invite you to ask any questions or share any recommendations. One good thing about online meetings is you can't throw tomatoes at me if you didn't like what you heard. But some guys are in the office, and feel free to knock yourself out if you want to do that. But if you do have any question, feel free to ask. And for those who are going to be in Turkey, I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of you in person. Okay, let's go to the final part of our meeting today. And I'd like to invite Paul and Sergio to give a top-line overview of where we are in the tech and ops migration and integration process. So guys, on to you.
Thank you, Mazen. Can everyone hear me okay? Cool. So let me come on to, I'll give you a broad overview around how I see the integration process, and I'll invite Sergio to comment specifically on some of the technical parts of that, because there is a big tech element to what we're trying to do. Before I do that, I just want to pick up on some of the things Mazen was talking about in terms of how we work together as a team and in terms of how we can support you. It was actually one of the specific questions that was asked, and I think it's important that you feel that you are supported. And there's one thing to do this on a call, but it's another thing in terms of how we do this in practice. One thing I will absolutely commit to you is that one of my key focus areas is on supporting on the MMI integration and to make sure that I'm available for you. So as hopefully most of you have seen, I'm coming regularly on a weekly basis to the offices in Twickenham, and I intend to continue to do that. If you have any questions off the back of this call, then please feel free to reach out to me, and we can either do it in the office or I'm available offline. I'm either going to be in Cardiff here or I'm going to be in the offices in Twickenham. As Mazen says, it's not just me being on the ground. I think what you'll find, especially after the guys meet up in Istanbul next week, is that after that, we'll start having much more meetings and flow of people meeting each other and working together over calls, but also on the ground. So people coming into the offices in Twickenham, opportunities for you to go and meet key individuals, particularly in the Wandsworth office. Mazen's already called out a few individuals. Obviously, Tim is a key person in driving the leadership and the culture of how this will work going forward. Sam, you've already met, has been in the office this week and will be absolutely crucial and is working with me very closely on the client support and commercial side. On the operations side, Mazen's mentioned Carly. Unfortunately, Carly's based in Melbourne, so it's quite difficult for her to come to Twickenham. But we have a very, very strong insights lead in the UK, a lady called Krisha, and she'll be spending a fair amount of time working with you, particularly with the media and the insights team. On the other side of the operations, on the more sort of content and monitoring side, we've got Ali Shami, who's based in Beirut, but he has spoken to me and he is intending to come over to the UK in the second week of February. And I'm trying to arrange that week to be a crucial week where there's going to be a number of us all in the office together. I believe Sergio can also come that week as well. And I think that'd be a fantastic opportunity to get everyone to meet each other, and we can start exploring how some of these different processes would work and how we would like them to evolve. Let me, on that point, we'll come on to the broader operational plan. So I think this is a sort of three-phase approach. There's a bit of overlapping in those phases, but there's broadly three parts to it. So the first part, which we explained on the last call, is really around making sure that we've got security on our continuity of our business and our service, particularly to clients. And most of the action that's happened so far and the things that you've been involved with has been around that. So examples are the fact that I've written to each of you personally to transfer your employment to CARMA Analytics Limited, safeguarding our hosting environment on the server side. Sergio can comment on that a bit further, but we've managed to save some significant cost as well as safeguarding the servers that provide our service, securing some of our critical suppliers, both on the IT system side, but also content and data suppliers. So suppliers like Modash, LexisNexis, OPoint. I'm reopening negotiations with Dexy on the e-tail data side, and making sure that we are building partnerships with some of our outsourcing partners, so companies like BPO and Intelligent Bee. And on that front, there's a real opportunity for us to grow a broader partnership across CARMA and to have the ability to use some of these outsourcing partners on not just MMI work, but on broader CARMA insights work and some of our other products and services. Another really big and important area is working with our clients and making sure they understand what's happening and they feel welcome and a sense of security and continuity in the service. We've been officially transferring client contracts. We've already transferred 21 client contracts, and we've got a few influencer impact and some specific clients like L'Oreal and Boots where we're in specific negotiations. But I think the feedback from Julian and Leo is that that process has been going very well so far, and we've had very, very positive response on that. So I think that's a real sense of optimism. So I think phase one, which I think we're coming to the end now, is just keeping the lights on, making sure everything goes. Phase two, and I think this is a really important point, is that we build a mutual understanding of how MMI works, but also how CARMA works on both sides. So we're learning from each other. And that will allow us to design and test how the systems will work going forward. Because I believe our vision here is around the idea of one CARMA. So having one team, so not a CARMA team or an MMI team, one team, one suite of products, one set of systems that service those products, and one set of workflow and processes of how we manage that service. And how we build that is absolutely crucial. And I think it's really important that we don't just suddenly from day one go, right, this is how we're going to do it. We need to learn how this should work, learning from people that are very experienced on both sides of this. We're already actually quite a long way into that process. On the e-tail side, and I'll again let Sergio comment on this, we're moving Tableau to the CARMA platform. We're profiling 59 retailer websites into the CARMA crawler. So that will give us full control on how we're crawling retailer websites to give us better data and better ability to control that and manage that data. And obviously part of that is going to be how we test the data integrity to make sure that we're confident with that. On the media side, it's getting our CARMA team familiar with the MMI coding methodology and the tools around that. But on the other side, it's building your knowledge, your team on how CARMA's processes and systems work. And that way we can design the best way to build a CARMA project to help us give not only the current service, but to augment that service with additional value add elements to the service. And that in turn will give us opportunities on the commercial side to upsell clients. The third one is obviously on influencer impact. And I think there's a big opportunity to work with our product team to build how the influencer database can not only work for MMI clients, but how we can expand that on behalf of all clients, because understanding and tracking and planning around key influencers is obviously a massive part of communications planning, but it's also a big part in how you then integrate that with any measurement and analysis and the insights you can get from that. So the opportunity to create an influencer impact CARMA-wide service is I think a big opportunity. Phase 3 is then how we migrate those clients into this new process and integrated system. And a key part of that is going to be how we handhold clients in that journey. Because if you think about MMI and CARMA coming together and how you feel about that, yeah, there's often some discomfort around change, and change is often what you make it, as Mazen says, but it can feel uncomfortable, it can feel ambiguous. Same thing is true of clients. If they start experiencing different platform, we're going to need to manage them through that process. And there are things that will change that they might not understand, and we need to explain why it is. But also there are, as I said, massive opportunities to be able to showcase things that we can do on the CARMA side that will give them much more a sense of value. So, for example, more bespoke insights, very designed insights reports that give them real value on certain campaigns or communications programs that are running, executive briefings, so summaries of the key stories in their sector and on behalf of their sort of media landscape. Market research, I think there's a big opportunity, and I know Sam is already talking about market research opportunities to understand how audiences are picking up on campaigns. Integration of sales data. I've spoken to Julian about this, that a natural evolution of e-tail is to understand not only are these products appearing in retail websites and they're in stock and they're in the right price and they're described correctly, but are we actually selling them? And if we can link all of those bits of information together, we've got a really comprehensive product and a real sense of value add. More regions, more content, more media types, things like broadcast. So there's all of these additional services that commercially we can take advantage of, we can give clients more value, and we can generate more revenue off the back of it, and we can sell to more clients. But obviously us understanding that is going to be crucial so that we can then handle our clients through it. I mentioned a few things there that have got a strong technical element to it. I'll welcome Sergio now to talk maybe a little bit more about some of the initiatives that we're working on at the moment, and also how we're going to support going forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I'll try to be short and precise, not to boring you all. So, as Paul was saying, I know there is also an anxiety environment or variable, not environment, variable in when we have change, because we always don't know what is the unknown, right? So what is going to happen, how we're going to proceed things. I'm doing my daily jobs. Am I doing this correct, or what are the changes, what I'm going to work in the future, and so on, right? So an elephant we eat by slice, right? We need to cut by slice, and we need to eat each slice each time. So when there is a big thing, and the first thing, as Paul say, is continuity of the work, continuity of the systems, continuity of the clients. So we just need to continue to do whatever we have been doing until today, right? So no changes. So I want to clarify that any change that we do on IT, there is no intention to change any workflow, any way to go on the first phase. First phase is just to transition systems. We had 3 systems to migrate, mainly. Of course, there are little things like Jira and so on, but 3 things, big things to do, and 2 of them are already done, 1 to go in terms of making the continuous of the business. 1 was Tableau. Now it's running on CARMA systems. The other one was Influencers Impact. Now we move away from Google Cloud and merge with OVH. And the third is the DEXI platform to bring the content in. We are reusing our crawler, but no changes. I know there is, I give a practical example. So a lot of people came to me, ask, there is a part that we review content that DEXI, we need to send tickets to DEXI, we create automatically some tickets in Jira and so on. What's going to happen with the new crawler? Same. Our crawler is going to send to the same system of Jira report that you're going to review. Instead of sending to DEXI the comments, you'll send to our beautiful and wonderful team in Beirut of Ali Shami to review. So let's say that Ali is Dexy. So we are trying to do the things as much as possible in a smooth, with no impact operational and also on clients. Of course, sometimes we need to make some changes for the things to happen, but it's always about continuity. But this is the first phase. The second phase, yes, then we'll start to have conversations, looking at what is happening, trying to think into the workflow, and I call that in the merge, what I call the merge stage, right? So where we're going to merge things that exist on CARMA on MMI and what things exist on MMI on CARMA. And this is about influencers impact is a big opportunity. I showed to our man of the social platforms in CARMA, Sammy, and he fell in love with influencers impact and Modash, right? So why don't we have already influencers impact on Insight? We will have it, but everything on its time. We have a dashboard with insights instead of trying to create a report, offline report. Why don't we use that also on MMI side? So that's the merge situation, which will be not 1 week, not 1 month. It will take its time. Of course, 3 months, 6 months, we will try to have something, what we call, we always have a pre-approach at CARMA that we try to build an MVP product and then build on top of that MVP. We don't like to do 2 years project that we try to bring something and then we deploy it. We always focus on a 3-6 months project to have an MVP, and then we have a team that will develop the functionalities of it. The third, the most important, is the future, is how we increase, bring new ideas and progress with the platform. Systems are directly connected to people. People are directly connected to systems. But what matters are not systems, but are people. So any change in here, it's going to be on systems, but the people need to lead and have the courage also to change. And as Mazen said, have the courage also to say no to a client. This is a typical situation. Sometimes the client needs to hear a no, because they are used to have something like in one way. If we say no and propose a new way, they can have 10 times better what they had. And we need sometimes to have the courage. And also the client will only respect us if we have the power and the authority to say no. If we only say yes, sir, they will not respect and they will try to find a different, it's a question of time. Once again, just to finalize, I do note all the efforts I can see from IT operations to all the effort it has done, and that reflects also all the effort of the rest of the company have done, personally, each one of you over the last year. I want to also, especially on my area, Carolina, Kishan, Ugo, and Dimitru, and all the rest also, the thanks of what you have been facing and the effort and the courage that you had over the last year. And I think that's more than fair to say. Thank you all. And open to questions, of course.
Thank you, Sergio. Let's take the remaining time for questions and answers.
Can I just ask the question, please? So it's not necessarily IT. What is the timeline on the transition? That's question number 1. And question number 2 is, obviously we have an office in Twickenham with the lease expiring in June. So I would just like to know what's the plans after that for all the staff in UK?
Okay. In terms of the office, I don't think we have a decision in the short term. So once Tim is back in the UK in February, he'll meet with Christian and Sam and the team, and then a determination will be made on do we renew for another year or not. Having said that, longer term, we do want all of the team, the CARMA team, to operate out of one location. We do not know where that will be, but obviously we'd want it to be central. And I know that we are already looking for new premises to vacate our Wandsworth office at some point. But this is not going to happen overnight, and it will take time. So short term, A decision needs to be made, but longer term, we want the team to be together. In terms of transition, are you thinking more about tech and ops? If so, I can direct that question to Sergio and Paul, or do you have a different more like marketing and sales?
Well, I work in finance, so for me, it's business as usual. But I just thinking about everyone getting together and working on one system.
Right. Well, I'm pretty confident that Ish will want all of us to be operating off our Dynamics, our Microsoft Dynamics system in one way. Again, like with ops, tech, commercial, client service, we will need to put a plan, give it the right time and the right approach, and within a relatively reasonable amount of time, might be a few months, I'm not sure. I'm sure you and Ish and the finance team will ultimately end up on one platform.
So Mazen, I'll just add a couple of things. Firstly, on the lease, just to clarify, we've slightly renegotiated the lease, so we have a rolling break clause. So we have flexibility in terms of timing in respect of when and if we want to vacate the premises. The message in finance is similar to the message that's been given in other areas like technology and ops. We're integrating into a sort of a CARMA global finance structure. I mean, you talked about Dynamics, that's already been set up. So, we have an approach of a sort of a global and integrated finance function.
You're going to have a lot to count in the future, Eva.
I hope so. That's it for me. Maybe just one more thing. Last time you said that the revenue of the company was 42 million. What is the forecast for this year?
We will tell you in April because our financial year ends in June.
Okay.
So we're only halfway through our current financial year. The executive committee will be meeting in April and will be putting the budget for next year. Luckily for me, I just get to give them a very difficult number and say, make it happen. But more specifically, we'll be looking at what are the actual areas where we feel confident about growing. Do we feel like we can grow automotive by 10% or 30%, and why? Do we think we can grow luxury by 20 or 50 or 100%? So we have a consultative process where all of our commercial, client and operational leaders will be going through different elements of their budget. We collectively bring it up with Ish's help, and then decisions around targets are made. But at this point, it's a bit too early for the upcoming budget, which will begin on July 1st of 2024.
So in terms of growth, are you still planning to merge or acquire in the near future, or just concentrate on the organic growth and because of the acquisition with MMI going into beauty industry as you were not there before?
Organic growth is king. It is the ultimate focus of the company. At the moment, we're doing M&A, or if you'd like, acquisitions, on an opportunistic basis. Heading into 2025, that will probably change, and we'll probably put some form of acquisition roadmap. But for the moment, we want our core to be stronger. MMI was completely unexpected. I mean, when I woke up one morning and I had an email, a note in my LinkedIn inbox from Christian, I was wondering whether it was spam or not. But then I had the opportunity to get to know him and call him a friend and a partner, and I have a lot of trust in him. And we are here because of fate. It was unplanned, but I'm very happy that destiny has taken us in that direction. We have a lot of people talking to us at all times. Most of them are pretty uninteresting, but some of them are. But we don't have an immediate focus on M&A until the end of the financial year. Organic growth is really our primary focus. Not just organic growth, because we've had double-digit organic growth for years. Profitable organic growth, good profit margins, good operating margins, efficient offices, efficient content. That's also part of the equation.
Okay.
Julian.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So I don't have a question as such, but I just wanted to say, thanks for this session, because it's been, certainly from my point of view, really useful, and it's great to hear, about the new structure, personal development plans, and all of that, and in particular, of course, ETEL as well. So everyone I think knows how close ETEL is to my heart. So really excited to take that journey further forward. So, it all sounds great and looking forward to it.
Thank you. Jana.
Yes, hello from me as well. Thank you for the session. And I have a question. So I work in operations across all our products, so media and retail, but you didn't mention anything about ad check. So I was wondering what are the plans for this product?
Good question. I do not have the answer at this stage. I think with the new team and the new leadership team, with Tim and Christian and Sam, working with Sergio and our operations teams, we'll come up with more detailed answers to that. At the moment, in the short term, it's continue as normal. And once the new leadership team has had the opportunity to speak to you, Jana, gauge market demand, we can adjust our approach and our plans moving forward. But short term, no change.
Okay, thank you.
Sheena.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mazen. Just a quick question from me in terms of moving forwards. How regularly do we plan to have these sorts of sessions? Is there anything determined just yet, or just keen to kind of understand and keep everyone updated how regularly we'll catch up?
So a town hall isn't something that you can expect to happen every month. It's more of a perhaps a quarterly exercise. However, in the case of MMI, I have a feeling that we'll probably have another town hall in mid-February because there's a lot that's in play. There's a lot of movement, a lot of change. And I think making sure everyone is constantly updated is very important. Most likely, the upcoming town hall will be done in person and will be led by Tim and the new leadership team. I'm seeing whether I will come to the UK in February or not. If not, then at the very latest, by early summer, I will be there. But you can expect another thorough update. And I have a feeling that taking it offline and having everyone in a room would be better. That way you have more engagement and can connect a little bit better. Will in fact happen. Tim, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think I want to meet every one of you and then work with Christian and the team, and of course a wider stakeholder group of Sergio and co. And then we can start to engage you on a more sort of personal basis. But I have a very open door policy. I love talking to people. I'd say it's one of my strengths. So by all means, if any questions, come to me, talk to me, and we'll work this forward.
Can I add something, Mazen?
Sure, go ahead, Sergio.
So one of the things that I also, being on the transition process, involved directly on the transition process, one of the things I also understand is that sometimes there is no communication, right? So we don't know what's going on. And so there is more the need of this kind of town halls. What I can say is that one of the process of transition process is to be integrated on a CARMA team, a new one, an existing one. And I give the examples of my teams. We meet every week. So instead of a global town hall and so on, as soon the teams are integrated, potentially the updates are done weekly on a team based, right? So initially we'll have more town halls. Over time, we'll have less because the updates, we know what's going on every week and so on and communicate. I do understand that in the initial is very complex to understand what is happening when we are not yet integrated in a bigger team. And let me tell you that Paul, 380 people on operations, right? Around that. So it's a big team and a lot of colleagues to help. Back to you, Mazen, sorry.
Thank you for that. Sheena, did you have a follow-up to that?
No, that's answered my question. Thank you. Great.
I mean, Sam, it may be worth you just commenting here very quickly, because I know you'll be bringing a lot of energy, and I know you're passionate about regular in-person meetings. So you may want to comment about how you're going to lead moving forward with the client service and commercial function.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, there's one thing saying something, there's another thing action, and I've been over to Twickenham a couple of times. I'd be looking at weekly interactions, and also I want to make sure that we're not just segmenting commercial and CS. I want to try and look at it as a whole. I did just have some final thought, and I'm very conscious of time, but we're talking about integration and we're looking at kind of phases, etc. But we've actually seen some tangible examples of what this integration and this communication has looked like. So a couple of examples. So Leo had an opportunity from the gel bottle. They came to Leo and very much kind of distinguished looking at the beauty space, but wanting to do some piece around research. Leo then reaches out to me. Before you know it, we're then engaging our insights team and Maria in Dubai. Next thing you know, we're on a conversation. We have an opportunity that's about £50,000, right? That wouldn't have happened if we weren't in this situations. Another one, a KMI brands, a smaller opportunity led by Hannah in our Wandsworth office. Wanting to get it over the line. They had a few doubts about our credibility within beauty space. We reach out to Leo. Leo provides us with a report that validates and strengthens our position in the beauty space, and we've just closed it as of 2 days ago. Sephora, an opportunity there, open up a line of communication with Yara in our Dubai office, who also manages the Sephora contact, and there's a connection between Leo and Yara. So there's actually a couple of others as well, and I think that hopefully that brings this newfound relationship and this integration to life a little bit more, and that has all come about from clear communication, and ultimately that's what I believe in, and that's what will happen moving forward.
Yeah, and actually, operationally, we're being supported already by CARMA with regards to trial. I've always said it, that there is a huge opportunity in Asia and the Middle East for the beauty industry, massive growth. You've got Korea, you've got India, you know, it's really, really ready for us to go and get. And Andrew and I, Paul, were talking about how we could offer a trial for Chinese data to a prospect. Again, could be a really quite a large contract for Julian. And yeah, so it's really exciting that we've finally got foot on the ground in the regions, and the level of collaboration already from a sales perspective is really, really impressive, and it's much faster than I would have expected. So yeah, it all makes sense. So it's really good.
Wonderful. Well, on that note of optimism and success, all I can say is I love it when a plan comes together. I believed it could happen, and I can see it happening in front of my eyes with this wonderful team. Guys, thank you for everything. Feel free to reach out to any member of the leadership on anything you may need. We are committed to continuing an open and transparent dialogue and update with all of you. And the integration process is smooth and going well. Let's keep it up, and I look forward to seeing you all relatively soon. Thank you, and have a great weekend.
Thanks, Mazen.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.